This episode of After Dark is brought to you by Care of. I'll tell you more about that later. Now let's get on to the show. Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. And welcome to another episode of Dr. Drew After Dark. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the emails. I've got quite a bit to go through today, and the voice messages. Keep them coming at Dr. Drew After Dark at gmail.com and also 818-253-1693. Got it? Keep it coming. One day we'll have phones, but in the meantime, this is actually kind of working with the emails and the voice messages. Right, Jimmy O Yang?
Yes, Drew.
So, wow.
Is that I came in hot today, man.
You did come in hot, man.
I'm hoping this next hour you'll fix my life. And then we'll, answer some other people's questions.
We'll tell people that don't know our heritage together. I was your dad.
Here's the thing. I have good Asian parents. They're immigrants, but they never taught me anything about the birds and the bees.
You came here at what age?
13 from Hong Kong.
And how much English did you speak?
Not really. I learned English how kids will learn Spanish. You know what I mean?
In grammar
America.
school.
Yeah, and I don't even know what's up, man.
Yeah.
Because that's American slang phrase. I knew what man and up meant, didn't know what what's up meant. So it was kind of a struggle. Now I found Loveline when I was about 15. I got like
3 years of you struggling with English in high school, or junior high school or high school?
Junior high is when I came in 8th grade.
You must have been hot stuff. The girls
all over me, man. Yeah. They called me Jimmy Thickcock back in the day. But not really. They didn't discover that until in my late 20s. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, this is Dr. Drew After Dark, right?
Go.
Like, we got to go blue here, you know?
Bring it, dude. Bring it.
No, but when I found Loveline, it was like really cool and liberating because in a Chinese family, we don't really talk about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I have good Asian parents in general, but when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, basically raised by wolves, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it was good to hear you and Adam. And it was super funny. I listened to it like every night. It was on at 11 or something like that?
10 to 12, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Were you here in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually what?
I actually hated it when you guys had musical guests.
Oh, yeah.
Because that took away from the phone call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so from us, you learn sex, you learn English, you learn slang, and we sort of raised you.
Yeah.
As opposed to the wolves, me and Adam raised you.
Yeah.
It's just another pack of wolves raising.
It's two hyenas now. So not much of a difference.
Yeah.
But at least I was educated on what America's sex life is compared to, I guess, what I thought sex life was back in China. You know,
it's different.
I don't know. I moved here when I was 13. So even looking back, I'm sure people have sex all the time in China, but I was such a kid.
Yeah.
When I moved here, I was like, people probably don't have sex until they get married. You know?
Now think about that, and now you're seen as that guy on the Crazy Rich Asian barge that's got chicks hanging off him. That's who you are now. That's your public image.
Yeah. Well, I hope. I don't know. I'm pretty low key when I go out, but yeah. I mean that's a good thing because you don't see a lot of like Asians being sexualized, I guess. So that's fine.
Is that good? No, it is good that you get to be that person. Yeah.
Exactly. Or we get to be seen as not just a nerd or whatever,
got it. Yeah. Or not just
a sexless person.
Or how would you describe the character in Silicon Valley?
He's like a foreign guy, you know. He's like me when I was 13.
He's sort of a gambler.
Yeah, he's kind of a badass in the beginning.
He's sort of a colossal a-hole.
Colossal
yeah,
asshole.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, which is what's cool about that guy.
But he's sort of clairvoyant in what he sees.
He's smart.
Like, you're a bad CEO.
Yes.
And he was a bad CEO.
Yeah. Drew, I didn't know you were such a fan of the show, man.
So I'm just saying, I catch little bits of it.
Nice.
Yeah. At least that last season. That last season was because I had a web company in the 80s, in the end of the 90s, and I went through one of those cycles. You know, we raised capital, and
really,
yeah, and that last season caught everything about running a company from nothing about nothing. You know what I mean?
What was your tech company? What was your company?
DrDrew.com. It was during the .com craze. Raised money in San Jose. And nobody had websites. And we did something like this. We did something exactly like this, except nobody could see it because nobody had broadband, which you needed in order to see this. So we were way ahead of ourselves.
So you're streaming back then?
No. Well, yeah, streaming broadband, right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then we'd essentially put it up as a video that people could watch and download. Nobody could watch it. They didn't have enough speed.
Wow.
Isn't that funny? So we had 100 employees. We employed lots of people for a good year,
and everybody went bankrupt.
Completely. So it's an entire cycle of a business. But all the stuff that you went through in that last season of Silicon Valley, that was all stuff that was very familiar to me.
Wow.
Except for that Bitcoin thing they did.
Oh, right, right. I'm sure there was a similar version of Bitcoin back in the day, whatever that was. PayPal, maybe?
No, in fact, we had people who were working with us that invented PayPal, and it just all happened right then.
Wow.
Yeah, all this stuff was happening. We didn't know what was going on. But anyway, so you grew up in China. Your dad, what was your dad's job?
He was a businessman. He sold medical devices for a long time, and then that didn't go so well. So when I was like a baby, before I was 5, we were like pretty well off.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just kind of not downhill, but they were like living off their savings. Mm. And then he came here and became a financial advisor.
And then he saw, get this camera on me. Then he saw Jimmy's success as an actor, and he said, in your dad's voice, what did he say?
He said, if it's so easy, you can do it.
In your dad's voice.
I don't know if I can do it.
You can't do it anymore?
If it's so easy, you can do it. I can probably do it.
So get the camera back to me. He started acting, and now he's a huge star in China. Am I right?
It was the craziest thing.
He's a huge star in China. It's ridiculous.
Because what happened was, I was like, oh, you don't appreciate how many auditions I have to go to and how hard this job actually is, and all the blood, sweat, and tears I put on stage and acting classes. I'm like, fine. I'm going to call my agent and see if like she wants to sign you. And turns out, old Asian dudes, like a hot commodity in Hollywood, right? Yeah, so they signed him, and he booked his first 5 out of 6 auditions.
Wow.
It was the craziest thing. It completely backfired on me. And he was like, oh yeah, it is easy. I was like, fuck you, you know? And he got on this show. It was like a non-union show that shot in San Francisco, but it was a Chinese show. Yeah. And it turned out to be the biggest. It was like Modern Family of China.
Oh my God.
It's called Little Daddy. And he had like played like...
Is he the little daddy?
No. He played like this 3-episode arc as a Chinese gangster. Really cool arc, right? And my aunt saw it in China and literally called our house here and was like, hey, Richard, you're such a good actor. Like, your son must have taken after you, huh? It's terrible.
It's the best story ever.
Yeah.
Well, you've continued to move on in spite of that.
Yeah.
You have stuff coming up. Can you talk about it?
Yeah. Well, Silicon Valley, we're going to shoot the new season. That's very exciting. I'm going to do a stand-up special soon. So I've been running around town doing a lot of stand-up.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think I saw you at the Comedy Store. Did I see your name up there?
Yeah, I was there yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw. Yeah.
It was really fun. I wasn't going to get back to it because I think back in the day I was doing stand-up to try to get girls to not be depressed, stuff like that.
Is that the reason?
It was my way to socialize. You know, not just meet girls, but like make friends. Because I was like so like.
How did you arrive at comedy? That's quite it's sort of a reach to think. No, that's what I'll do to meet people. Hang out in a bar.
I think it's a lot of people I think got great stories. It's like, oh, I grew up watching Eddie Murphy, my brother, and I promised him I'd be a comedian. You know, I didn't have any of that. It was honestly the last ditch desperation. It was like I always say, Googling. Like typing into Google local open mics is one step away from typing in what's the best way to kill yourself. Like, not to get like super dark here, but I think that's what a lot of comedians' motivations are. So I was just stuck, you know. Towards like my junior year of college, I wasn't making friends.
Where were you in college?
Where'd I go to college?
Yeah.
UCSD.
Okay.
So the summer I was
San
back
Diego.
home, living with my dad, like doing nothing, playing Madden with my old high school friends.
Ooh.
Not meeting any girls, you know. I'm just stuck. And I'm
Who thought of comedy?
It's
kind of a brilliant idea.
I guess I used to watch BET Rap City and Comic View when I came to America, so I thought that was really interesting, and I was just go try it. I never had like stage fear. I was pretty good like in.
Did you work hard to work up your first?
I wrote some stuff, but it was like hacky masturbation jokes, you know, like just like every comic. I think one of my first joke was like, so I was watching like SportsCenter and ESPN, and you know, it was a Michael Vick highlight, and I was jerking off to my computer on the other screen, and you know, and then I was about to come, and I turned around, Michael Vick scored a touchdown, so I kind of came to Michael Vick, you know. It was like really dumb masturbation jokes, but I got some like pity chuckles, and the great part about that was, immediately the other open mic comics was like, oh, that was cool, man. What was your name? You know, like, do you come here often? Like, it was
Where
like
was it?
camaraderie. It was at the Haha Comedy Club. Haha Comedy Club in North Hollywood. I had to pay $5 for 5 minutes of stage time.
Oh.
And then we're like tagging each other's jokes. But like I found a community, so I started going there every day for the open mic.
Every day?
Yeah, because I was making friends.
For how? Oh, summer. You weren't doing anything.
Yeah. It was like when I was 20, 21. Yeah.
So every day, open mic. And did you like work every day what you were going to say, or you just repeat stuff, or?
Yeah, I don't think I understood the process, like how much trial and error is it.
Do you now?
I do now. Yeah. I think back in the day, it's more just trying to survive on stage for 5 minutes so you can go hang out at the bar for another 2 hours, you know. But mainly it's the camaraderie, and I kind of saw a way out. I'm like, if I get really good at this, I can get on their Friday night book shows and actually, you know, make some money and like meet girls and get laid, you know, and I'll be part of this.
Meet girls, get laid is in the alchemy every time.
Everything anyone does in life.
Certainly as a young man.
Yeah. I came to this podcast because I'm hoping to meet girls and get laid at some point.
Would you guys help out with this?
It's just dudes in here, man.
Damn it.
So, how did the transition to acting go?
I didn't think I was going to be an actor. I was hoping to just do some acting, like commercial acting, so I can pay the bills because I wasn't making any money. I heard great stories of comedians like being an extra on a commercial, and then they got paid $60,000 because they got bumped up and all the residuals and stuff.
Wow.
And I didn't really know what acting is about. Like, obviously, I get it. I've seen it, but I don't know how to do it. So I found an agent hoping to just get some commercial work. So I used my stand-up clip as, like, my reel. And then the agent kind of just starts sending me out on random auditions, like Modern Family, 2 lines on Modern Family, you know, this game show host and everything. And those things were so far-fetched and cool for me. I was like, dude, I need to work really hard because this is an opportunity that I didn't even think I was going to get. So I started, you know, using all my money for acting classes. Like my rent was like $300. I lived in this guy's living room, but
where?
In Hollywood. And that's a whole nother lifetime and story.
Why?
Because I had no money. I used to work at a strip club in San Diego. So I finished that.
Tell me more. What happened there?
You didn't know this? I told you this.
I vaguely remember.
At a strip club as a DJ, and it got too dangerous, and the guy loved me, this gangster guy.
Give us your rap.
Yeah, it was always just like 2 people in the strip club. It's a really sad strip club, so it's like high pressure sales. Like,
okay.
It's gonna give me like PTSD.
That's what I was hoping.
It's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up to stage next is Milan. Give it up for the sexy Milan, and 2-for-1 lap dances coming up for the next 10 minutes. Don't be shy with your wallet, gentleman in the gray hat. I see you over there, eyeing saucy. I see you. Get saucy, Milan, for a 2-for-1 lap dance. You can get 2 girls for the price of 1, or you can get 1 girl and 2 lap dances for the price of 1. 2-for-1 lap dances going on right now, Fantasy Showgirls. That was my life. I was very good at that job.
How about the girls?
The girls, I had a crush on this girl because she just looked like the girl next door, super pretty, and like looks like she's too good for that strip club because everybody else had,
of course, in your mind,
literally like 18th Street Latina tattoos on their stomachs and shit, you know, like gang shit.
Scars, stab wounds.
Yeah, this one girl was named Latina because she was Latina.
It's good.
And she had like an AK-47 bandolier like tattoo. It was nuts, dude. Of course. And so it's a lot of grungy stuff like that. And then there's this girl, Paige, who was like really beautiful. And she was like 19, 20, and I was like 22 at the time. So I was like, oh,
Paige from San Diego.
Yeah, Paige. And I thought, I was like, oh my God, you know, only if I can like get her as my girlfriend. I started chatting with her. And I had such a huge crush on her, and I talked to the owner. You know how like when you have a crush with someone, you want to talk to your buddies about it. It's like,
sure.
It's like your high school friends. Like, oh man, isn't Monica like so cute?
Yeah,
you
just
know?
testing your judgment.
Exactly. Yeah. To see what they think, right? To see, it's like, oh no, Monica's a fucking whore, or like,
or she's married. What are you talking about?
Or like, yeah, but Monica, yeah, whatever. So I was talking to owner about it.
Reconnaissance of a certain type.
Exactly. So I was talking to owner and he's like this 60-year-old gangster, and then I was like, hey, so Paige is awesome, huh? Don't you think Paige is like so cute? And then he was like, she's a pathological liar. Don't listen to anything she says. And I was like, what? No, come on. How would you know that? You don't know her that well. And then he was like, I know, I fucked her, okay? and my innocence just kind of just done.
It's
after that
like a
day.
balloon deflating.
Yeah, and it got like really dangerous too after a while. So
Wasn't there cocaine deals or something there you told us?
there was some stuff like that. It was like prostitution. It was
Your dad was
fights.
super happy, right? Your dad was very
He
happy.
didn't know until he read my book.
Oh.
And he was like crying afterwards. He was like, "Oh man, if I knew, blah blah." So that was a nice moment. Because I know if he knew, I would have never been able to work there. He would have dragged me out.
Right. And you wouldn't be able to pursue Paige.
Yeah, I know. Well, the failure of a pursuit.
How long were you there?
I think I was there for a good 6 months. And the owner wanted to open up a new strip club for me to run it because I was a very good, trustworthy guy. And of course, I didn't. I went to LA. Some buddies talked some sense into me.
This reminds you like Breaking Bad.
It is.
Where he finds somebody to run his stuff for him.
Yeah. So, and then I moved to LA and became an actor.
But no. Then you ended up in somebody's living room.
Oh. Well, I used like the $2,000 savings I had. Ended up in this kid's Nathan's living room. But you can only call him Nathaniel. You can't call him Nathan.
Nathaniel. Not
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, but Nathan.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
This small black guy. He's like smaller than me. And he's super gay. And it was fine. I'm cool with gay people. So like I just rented out his living room. And until one night, he brought like 5 gay Latino dudes over. And like, I thought all 5 of them were just going to have an orgy in his room, or whatever. I don't know. And apparently only one of them is with him. And like 4 of them crashed in the living room where I am. I don't know what the fuck happened that night. Okay. Like I just, my back was against the wall and I got my headphones on, but this one guy just kept saying, "Hey Pablo, so you're power bottom, huh?" That's all I know. And I woke up the next morning.
I feel like we had to show Jimmy try it out just so he...
I know. Robert Paul Champagne. I fucking know try it out guy, man.
Okay.
I showed all my buddies about it.
All right.
He's awesome. I mean, show it. I would love to watch it.
Did you recognize, does he look like one of the guys in the room that night,
these are all young guys.
Oh, but I mean, he's grown up now. It's been a lot later.
This could be Pablo.
This could be Pablo.
Pablo the power bottom. Thugs, homeless. By the way, what a man with a good heart, huh? Ex-cons,
Why don't you show the Instagram that he sent me personally?
No.
Yeah, he sent me a personal Instagram.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Jimmy would like that.
Oh, man, I love this guy.
Yeah, give me a second to pull it up.
Robert Paul Champagne.
And the YMH got to talk to him.
I know. I listen to that. I'm a fan of theirs.
Next door here.
It's so cool. Yeah.
No, but he sent me a special message.
So you think he was on meth, right? I saw your take on it. Oh, that particular video, he seems on meth.
That one he seemed on meth with a weird language, but
abuse.
This one he does not seem on meth presently when he sends me this lovely message. You can imagine. Here he is.
Oh my God! Is this for Easter?
Well, it was around Easter time. Yes.
Very festive.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Dr. Drew, what was Dr. Drew saying about me? Yeah, probably negative. Well, I was thinking scared by Dr. Drew. Because Dr. Drew to me is a fucking moron. I was never molested kid. I'm not unhappy. I'm not I got a brain, okay? Very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. I don't think Dr. Drew can compare to my brain. Only Dr. Drew compared to the goddamn fucking chicken head. That's like Colonel Sanders. He reminds me of Colonel Sanders with the virus. Hey, Dr. Drew, you hear that? You remind me of Colonel Sanders with a virus.
Colonel Sanders with a virus?
Dr. Drew, talk about yourself.
I think he said you look like Colonel Sanders with a virus.
I thought he said Colonel Sanders with Elvira.
That's what I said at first.
No?
Like a cross of Colonel Sanders and Elvira. And then he said Colonel Sanders with a virus.
With a virus.
Then
Oh, that's why he was coughing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
But
It's like homie on out. It's like home right now. We don't know.
Can you say? That,
It's
that you have a personal video from Tried Out Guy?
I don't.
Yeah,
What a legend.
I've
huh?
arrived. I'm here.
You have. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is really quite a moment. Thank you for joining and appreciating it with me.
Oh, I love Robert Paulch. He's great. He's really a sweet guy.
He is, and that kind of comes through a little bit here. You can say that.
Yeah, he's like a little hurt. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's happy. He's having fun.
But he was, I think he was on meth when he was, you know. And
Maybe he was very aggressive. Fuck me, piss on
Yeah,
me, beat me.
right.
Try it out, man. Like even when he says, "Try it out, man."
I know, like Jimmy, you've watched that video too many times.
Many times, man. I almost tried it out, man.
Really?
No, I didn't. No.
You know what?
Now,
So anyway-
now, okay. What my question always, Drew,
Yeah.
is, you know, I worked at a strip club with strippers.
Yeah.
100% of strippers, or like somebody like piss on me, beat me.
Yeah.
Are they all 100% abused, or are there some outliers?
There's some outliers, and it's just what makes you not perceive normal boundaries. That's really what happens to you, that your boundaries are sort of fluid, right?
What happened? You always say this, which I love. What happened to you that make this okay?
Right.
Yeah,
That
it's like
you
when I
don't-
watch porn, I can't unthink that. I'm like, what happened to her?
I can't go to strip
that
club.
this DP is okay right now.
I can't go to a strip club because I just think about these women, and
I know,
you know,
right?
And it's not my business. They want to do it. They like doing it. It's not like they don't like it. It's just that they're stuck in a loop of trauma kind of thing is the way I think.
Are there ever strippers like maybe they're in a bad situation and they need money for their family?
Yeah, of
Is that a
course.
real story?
Of
Or is
course,
that-
but there's lots of people desperate that don't do that. Now, maybe they aren't attractive enough to do it, I suppose, but other people will go to other desperate measures than that. There's a reason you sort of feel fine doing that. And it's okay. Listen, peace and love, no problem, nothing wrong with it.
what are other desperate measures, like robbing? No, I mean
Like taking a
working-
job you don't want to take, or borrowing money from people, or living out a living room with Nathaniel.
Yeah, I would have stripped though if I was a female.
You would have?
Yeah, I mean I'm not hot enough as a dude to strip.
So what happened to you?
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, like, I'm a dude.
Did you have trauma growing up?
I don't think so.
Other than trauma of getting here?
I think it's trauma of getting here, and it's years of repression is my trauma. That doesn't count as trauma. Like,
Was it repressive in China?
no, but I mean, I just jerked off from like the age of 13 to 20, and then I started
it's
getting
so
like-
abnormal.
I mean,
Oh
no,
my
but I
God.
mean, look, it's years of just frustration because
Oh, abnormal. Oh my God.
so none of that is abnormal, I guess.
No,
you
no.
know. So
Your continued preoccupation. I'm just saying. Nothing.
I mean, me working a strip club, maybe I was traumatized. I don't
Well,
know.
you said you get PTSD just from telling the story.
I
again.
don't. I was doing it.
Hyperbole.
Yeah.
Okay. And you never talked about your mom. What's her deal?
Well, so here's my trauma. This is my trauma. I talked about this, Drew.
Okay, I forgot.
So when I was 15, so my family all came here when I was 13.
Oh, that's right. I do remember.
And
this.
my mom was the one that kind of didn't quite assimilate
Mm-hmm.
because she couldn't speak English very well. So she went from like running a fashion line in Hong Kong to like doing minimum wage crappy jobs in like Chinese areas. So when I was 15, she got up and moved back to China.
just left you guys.
Yeah, kind of basically in a divorce. So I had a ton of resentment from that. But now looking back, I understand.
I understand too, but it was traumatic.
Yeah, it is. And it's got to not be normal for a woman, especially for a mom,
Leave her kids.
to get up and leave their kids, right?
Very unusual.
Yeah.
It speaks to how desperately unhappy she was,
Mm-hmm.
right? Did she try to bring you with her?
No. I mean, they came here for my schooling, me and my brother's schooling. So,
Is your brother older?
yeah, he's older.
And then she made no attempt.
No,
Like,
she actually,
please come
man,
with
I
me,
remember
or-
this. I mean, my memory could be wrong, but I remember I was like crying. She was like, if you don't want me to go, I don't have to go. I was like, Mom, I don't want you to go. And then she left.
Two.
That's trauma.
Explains your interest in strippers.
Got it, right? Mm-hmm. You know? But what is it? How does that translate to me working a strip club? Or Paige?
Well, Paige makes sense to me, because it's the unavailable, and even if available, would be more than a handful and would leave.
Yeah.
And working in strip club is you were rebellious. I bet you were super rebellious for a Chinese kid from
Yeah.
Hong Kong. You know.
But do you think that's something to do with my mom, or that's just my
yes.
nature?
No, you were pissed. She left you. At the 15 or 17, now you're 17, 18, 19, right?
So maybe I have a like an anger towards women.
Maybe. I'm not sure. That was. I know. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that you were angry because you'd been abandoned by your
general,
mom in general, and you were rebelling and stuff, and thus the wild night in Nathaniel's living room. Nathaniel. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But it makes sense that but it kind of drove you. It's interesting. It kind of made you do stuff that you wouldn't have probably otherwise done.
I don't think, if my mom never left, I
mean,
would have been in a very happy Asian family and probably be a financial advisor now.
And wealthy. And the interesting thing for this show is, how did comedy figure into that? You know what I mean? Is that an angry?
I think it's part of that rebellious, part of that rebellion, part of that desperation. Because I just couldn't find happiness back home anymore, right?
Yeah, you were neither here nor there.
Yeah, because
but back home, but you also couldn't go back to Hong Kong either because
I was displaced.
Yeah,
I needed to fit in. I never thought that I fit in America.
But isn't comedy kind of using a mallet to fit in, right?
Well, comedy, the good thing about comedy is weirdos. The weirder you are, it's how misfits fit in. The weirder you are, the funnier you are. Everybody in the comedy club was a misfit. So you feel like you fit in with those people. You find your creed. You know, like that's how me and Fred Stoller met. That's how me and my roommate Terrell Guam met, you know, like because everybody didn't fit in. That's why we all do stand-up.
Fred wants to come in at the end of this podcast and give you a gift, or me a gift too. So we'll see. Fred Stoller will be here in a few minutes. But speaking of misfits, let's go to my misfits.
Cool.
Let's get to a voicemail here right off the top and see what they've got for us, shall we?
Hey, Dr. Drew. I am a mother of two. And during both of my pregnancies, I had something really unfortunate occur. During intercourse with my husband, we, of course, took the opportunity of me being pregnant to let him finish without having to pull out, because that's probably one of the best things about being pregnant. And for some reason, my body went from being perfectly fine with his semen touching my skin to completely having an allergic reaction, which felt like a burning, searing, stinging pain, so bad that I would be in tears and having to put a wet washcloth, like a cold compress, on myself.
Right. This makes perfect sense.
I didn't let him do that more than once each pregnancy.
Okay.
So my question to you is why that occurs.
Okay.
Because when I did ask my doctors, they just basically said it's not unheard of, but they didn't have an understanding of why it does occur.
Of the many hundreds of times that callers or voice message participants have said to me, I'm having an allergic reaction to my boyfriend's semen, I would say 0 of them, 0 have been an allergic reaction. The vast, vast, vast majority is the effects of progesterone, which the birth control pills that they make these days are high potency progesterones. So women on birth control pills can get something very similar to what she described. When you're pregnant, you have a placenta creating shit tons of progesterone, so you can get a relative deficiency down in your vaginal lining, and it can get very irritated easily, and semen will really stir that up. So you should next time, should you get pregnant again or get that experience again, talk to your doctor about some estrogen suppositories. Now, because you were pregnant, they may not have allowed that, but that's what this is. It's
anal.
Always the same thing.
When you're pregnant, go anal.
Listen to Uncle Jimmy. Listen to Uncle Jimmy.
Come in the ass.
Could we make a T-shirt? It's my next T-shirt, but just one, and give it to him.
When in doubt, come in the ass.
It's time to take a little break so I can tell you about our friends at Care Of. You've heard me talk about them before, and now summer is approaching. Healthy routines are on people's mind. This is a great way to give yourself support, a boost, whether you're looking for energy, better sleep, ways of dealing with stress. Here's what online gives you. They give you an online quiz so you can see exactly what you need. It's a pretty impressive little quiz with some scientifically backed vitamin and supplement recommendations. There's no goofy recommendations. They're all really based in evidence. And I'm really impressed with both the quiz and the recommendations. I did it myself, and I'm using Care Of products on a daily basis. It's hard to know what vitamin supplements you should be taking, right? Well, this is easy. It's convenient. Depending on your personalized Care Of plan, you will get a daily vitamin pack and or protein powder sent right to your door. It is that easy. It is customized. Packets have your name on them. It's great. Now, Care Of makes sure that you're putting into your body, Care Of makes sure that what you're putting in your body comes from sources backed by transparency, and it's all available to you on the website. Their protein powders are available in individual packets for on the go or tubs. Vegan, vegetarian supplement options are available to match your dietary needs. I took the online quiz, as I told you, and my personalized package show up with some really good vitamin minerals, the thing that I like to supplement, and they picked up on that right away and got some good mineral supplements, some very interesting sort of supplements to help support healthy brain, which I'm worrying about all the time. And I'm so happy with it. So here's what you need to do. If for 25% off your first Care of order, you just go to takecareof.com, takecareof, all strung together.com, enter the code Dr. Drew, and that's all you got to do. You will be very pleased with these supplements and their recommendations. Just take that quiz. See if you're not as impressed as I am. It is at takecareof.com. Be sure to enter that code Dr. Drew, and let us get back to our program. Love the show. I've been married for 3 years. I'm starting to get turned on by the thought of her with other men. I'm in therapy. I had a really effed up childhood. My mom was married 5 times, my dad 4 times. I was beaten and molested.
Oh my God.
Woo, been doing open mic nights here lately.
Oh,
there you go.
Trauma and comedy,
It's
guys.
helping me a whole lot. Do you have any other suggestions for me? I love my wife. Don't fuck it up. Get trauma therapy. Do not pass go. Get airlifted to a trauma therapist, EMDR or something like that.
So he wants to see his wife bang other dudes.
Right.
How does that relate to trauma? Cuckolding.
It somehow it's something about all the marriages and different partners for the parents, I'm sure. And probably
Maybe he wants to ruin it.
And I'm going to bet he witnessed something. I bet he and so that clairvoyant thing is getting acted out.
Cuckolding's huge in porn these days.
Do you watch it?
I don't want to. I mean, but sometimes it's
don't
like
want to?
no, but sometimes it's like a hot porn star and it's one of her better scenes.
I get you. I feel you.
So you end up
So you don't
having
care.
to
You don't
watch it.
care what the situation is. It's the chick against the girl.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. My girlfriend and I have been dating for a few months. We've quickly become best friends. Mesh on so many levels. Sex life good. The only thing is that we kiss. She won't use her tongue or allow me to. I've asked her why. Of course, can't get a definitive answer. Even pressed her to ask whether there's any past trauma. No. Some people aren't into tongue kissing.
I guess I've had that with like girls that are kind of shy, but
No. Just some people are just not into it. They just, for whatever reason, just like some people get weirded out by certain words. Some people get weirded out by certain sounds. Some people are not into tongue kissing. Hard to imagine,
yeah.
but there you go. Let's hear another voice message.
Hey, Dr. Drew. This is Lane from Florida. I had a pretty concerning question. My son was born in November this year. He's about 6 months. And ever since then, my wife can't get enough of him, and that's not necessarily the problem. It's that she'll sniff his feet. They smell like vinegar. They smell like pickles, which is fine. But then I noticed when I wasn't looking, she would like lick his toes, like the jam in between his toes.
That's not true.
She would smell his farts.
What was that?
I'm just wondering, is this normal?
That was the wife.
Should we seek help?
That's not true.
She's in denial. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but please let us know.
Shockingly,
input? Thank you.
shockingly, I believe her and not him. Shockingly.
What did she say in the background?
That's not true. That's not true. What he's out of. But I thought he was going to say we have no more sex, which is really common at the babies get born.
How old's the baby?
6 months.
And she's just smelling the toes. Why? Whatever.
He's being not a good husband,
Yeah, like what's the big deal?
but a good mommy.
Yeah,
He's
good.
calling in. That
There
was
you
a good
go.
thing. But mostly the sex life is shut down because God doesn't want you to have babies on top of each other. So women for at least a year after a baby will be way down in libido. And if they're breastfeeding, it keeps that low libido going even further.
Now you've always said, Drew, that a woman's vagina goes back to exact normalcy.
Not exact normalcy, but near normalcy. What I've said was when people will say things like, she got stretched out, I go, that anatomy was designed to handle the head of a baby and go back to normal. Things don't stretch out from male genitalia. They don't.
Come on.
They don't.
Really?
It's meant for a head of a baby. Now that'll stretch it out a little
What
bit.
if like you do porn? Like that kind of stretch.
Like 6 penises or something?
Yeah.
Or if you're fisting, that will stretch you out. Yes.
But I mean, some of these penises in porn is practically my fist. I have a very small fist.
That's not going to hurt the vagina. It's going to hurt the uterus if it gets up there. It can traumatize stuff.
So girth hurts more than length, is what you're saying.
No,
But there's no penis wide enough
I'm
to
just
stretch it out permanently.
not. I mean, maybe, but I don't know what you've watched, Jimmy. Maybe you should
No, I'm
share
just
some of this
saying,
with me.
man. I find that to be hard to believe, but you're the doctor. you know,
It's
so-
not maybe not like a 14-year-old, but not like postpartum. Not after a baby. No comparison. Okay.
Okay.
Another voice message, please. Let's see what we got there.
Hello, I'm Kurt, and I have a condition known as epididymitis. I'm sure you can explain that to the listeners.
He sounds
My
happy
dad-
about it. He sounds so happy about it.
Yeah.
Epididymitis. Keep
What is
going.
it, Drew?
Should I go to it right now? Okay, epididymitis. Well, we need to have anatomy charts here since this is a YouTube thing. This would be great.
Yeah.
Bring some. We need like those Snellen type those charts that doctors put on their walls.
Or the
I'll bring one out.
skeletons that have in doctors' offices.
Yeah.
I always thought that was decoration. I've never seen one doctor use the skeleton thing with the stomachs and the lungs pulled out.
No. Well, you mean like the big body sitting there?
Yeah. That's
Surgeons would
decoration.
use that. No, they'd use it. I pull out little models of knees and shoulders and stuff like that once in a while. I do.
Cool.
But this is, you got your testy, right?
Mm-hmm.
My fist is your testy. You've got a little thing that sits on top called the epididymis. It's sort of the processing center for the sperm before they send it up the vas deferens to be put with the semen.
Oh.
Okay. And the epididymis can get inflamed really easily. Usually the urethra gets inflamed, then it goes down to the epididymis. The testes don't really get inflamed, but the epididymis, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the epididymis on top there. You see
How
it?
do you get inflamed when you jerk it too much?
You can get almost, you can get from prostate inflammation, you can get it from urethritis, you can get it from chlamydia, you can get it from gonorrhea, you can get it from all kinds of stuff. And it just happens. And so treatment is like antibiotics and supporting your testes, like wearing underwear all the time. And
Oh, really?
and sometimes
Commando's
antibiotics
no
are
good.
No good for the epididymitis or prostatitis. And then anti-inflammatories. But let's see what else he wants to know.
Has the same thing, and he told me, my dad has the same thing, and he told me that if I piss after I shoot ropes, it should stop hurting. So I was just wondering if that helps at all. Thanks. Bye.
Dude, this guy's awesome. He asked his dad?
Well,
It's like, yo, dad, my balls is inflamed. What do I do? And then his dad's like, son, it's okay. Mine is too. How does that go? I would never ask my dad.
forget that he might is too. Did you hear the advice he gave him?
Shoot rope. So does that mean cum? Or does
Yes,
shoot rope?
yes.
After you cum, you go pee. That's
Could
what
you-
a dad.
Next conversation you have with your dad, please videotape it for us.
Good old father and son jerk off, huh?
Oh my God. So your dad does not know what the F he's talking about. Just saying. But that's what you get for asking your dad and not whoever the doctor was that diagnosed epididymitis.
That's what they tell women after you have sex, you go pee, right? Is that real?
That's to help reduce the risk of urinary tract infection.
That's real.
Yeah, it kind of works.
But not after you shoot rope with your penis. You don't go pee. How hard is that, by the way?
It's
After-
very hard.
after you come and you try to
painful.
pee?
I would argue that might make things worse even.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about this podcast today is that we taught you the term shoot ropes. Jimmy O Yang learned
Shooting
something
ropes.
new. A 22-year-old cool guy, which you never know what that could mean. Sometimes when I have sex or masturbate, my sack will shrivel and my balls won't fit side by side in my sack. What is he talking about? As a result, a ball will retract into my lower abdomen. Okay. Yeah. There's a slight bulge under my skin, right into blah, blah, blah. Yes, that happens all the time. That is normal. That is normal. You can actually go right up into your abdomen if you have a little hernia.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's 22. You don't know. I didn't know, like, your left nut's supposed to be hanging lower than your right nut until I was like
There's
25.
there's usually just one is lower than the other.
Oh, it's not always the left?
Not always left. But this thing of this retracting or the ball sort of pulling up into the inguinal area, very, very common.
And a slight curve in your penis is normal, right, Drew? Asking for a friend.
How slight?
I mean, pretty slight, you know.
With your finger.
I mean, like such,
Let me see.
like that.
On the
But like way bigger, you know. Like that, but like way bigger.
Well, show me again. Is that in the? Ooh, it got more breadth.
I mean, we can go to the
put your-
bathroom.
Put your finger up there. I don't want to see your erect.
And
penis.
I'll show you a picture of my friend.
Okay. And is it in the downward direction like that? Or you? Or
This is sideways.
Can you show it sideways so that the cameras could see the curvature?
Like such.
hold. Get by your head. We want to see by Jimmy O Yang's head.
Like
There you
such.
go.
But more like you know, like that.
Yeah, sideways. Sideways curve. I forget. I think that's getting into a zone where is this the zone we're talking about?
Ish. It's not a knuckle bend. You know.
No,
what
I
mean?
understand. It's a smooth curve.
It's a smooth curve.
You're a smooth dude, so you're a smooth curve.
I'm not saying
has
this
it
is
been
me.
there. Has it been there all the time?
I don't know. But ever since I was young, yeah. I don't know. Like it was there when I was 13. I don't know.
No, I understand, but it hasn't progressed in any way.
No, I thought it was because I only jerk on my left hand. I mean, and then I switched, and then it got straighter.
Ooh, look at
But
that.
maybe
look at
not.
you,
But maybe
Einstein.
not. Well, once again, this is not about me. Friend of mine.
Whoever this dude is, he's a genius.
Yeah. But is that
Francis
a real thing?
Bacon. Yes, it's a real thing. The curves can be caused by lots of things, and trauma is one of them. Don't don't be so
Oh,
aggressive
shit.
with your peni.
Yeah.
And the real risk is that it gets something called Peyronie's disease, where it can just keep pulling.
Oh, no,
And then
no,
they
no,
have-
it's not.
And then
It's
they have to
fine.
kind of operate on
It's
it.
fine.
But I was talking to a urologist the other day who was saying that sometimes Peyronie's like happens overnight. They wake up and they've got a
Oh, wow.
yeah. So good times. I was in a very serious 4-year relationship, my early 20s. I was extremely loyal until I was cheated on, and I feel like it took a toll on me mentally because ever since I've cheated on every girlfriend. Sounds right. Just started a new relationship about 5 months ago. Really want to work it out, but I'm actively trying to change my perspective. But I sometimes feel myself starting to slip. So far, I've been able to keep it at bay. Love the show. I was reluctant to ask the question, but since listening to you, I feel like I've already started to reflect internally more and face some of my other problems. Maybe the other problems are things we should be talking about. But here's what I think does a lot of that, what he's describing, is that it's impossible, that experience shattered your sense of feeling safe in a relationship. And if you can't regain that feeling of safety again by any means, one means is to go, oh, I've always got a bullpen. Right. You can always jump out.
Yep.
So by keeping that sort of cheating option open, you cheat yourself because you never actually get into the relationship. You're always partly with one foot out. Now I understand why it really traumatized you, and maybe some of these other issues you say.
That's trauma, right? Like adult
It is.
trauma.
It is, but you have to face some of your other issues. I'm wondering those other issues are why this was so traumatic for you that you can't seem to get out of this pattern.
But that's got to be traumatic for everyone, that you can't trust again, or do people rebound from that?
People usually rebound from that, but that's the reason. It's hard. It's hard trusting. Trust is almost a bigger topic. If you had childhood trauma, trust is a major issue always.
Any type of childhood
Right.
trauma.
Yeah. Trust becomes the issue. But usually those are people that really have trouble getting in a relationship ever. And so they don't, but again, there might be something in that zone.
So what should he do?
He should try to really get into the relationship for real, not keep an option of a door open where you can bail out at any time. And if you can't do that, then what these other problems you're mentioning, you need to see somebody about those, because that's the issue. Oh, this is for you, Jimmy. Hey, obviously cannibalism is frowned upon. But if you're trapped in a desert or in the woods somewhere with no food but another delicious-looking human being, what's the easiest, safest part of the human to eat? Question I've never thought of, but I'm glad you're here to help me.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you got to think like on a cow, like the ribeye, the tri-tip, somewhere along the ribs got to be the most delicious parts.
Delicious? Did you say delicious?
Or safest.
Easiest and safest. I like the way you went right for delicious, Jimmy, but go ahead.
Easiest and safest. I mean, the arm.
Arm or thigh? Would you think?
Yeah. The limbs have no diseases. The thighs probably have like too many arteries and stuff.
No, you're good.
You okay? No.
You're good.
Okay.
But I like the way you're just going for tender meat all the time.
Yeah.
Here's another one for Jimmy. 23-year-old, I have blood in my semen. You ever had that?
Ooh, never. Wait. No, never.
It's only a little bit, but enough to turn a very slight shade of pink. I figured it was worth asking about. It's only happened twice in 2 days.
Does it hurt?
Usually not. It can sting a little bit coming out if it's a lot. To put it lightly, there's almost 0% chance I have an STD. Okay, I guess he's a virgin. And I can't think of any trauma or injury that happens. What the hell's happening? These are usually like a little vessel that leaks in the seminal vesicles or something like that. It's very common.
He jerked it too hard.
No, it's not. It's very common. It's in the semen. It's actually in the pack where the semen's getting worked on.
Oh,
back in the
so
prostate.
the back
and stuff.
factory.
Yeah, the back factory.
The
Oh my God.
the front office.
26-year-old male. I've been addicted to internet porn for 10 years, Jimmy. You sent this to me? I know Lucas did.
What does addicted to internet porn mean to you, Drew? What is real
You know, it's
addiction?
interesting because it's so normative, and some people use a lot of it and they're still not addicted. It's like like alcohol. There are people that drink a lot of alcohol, they're not alcoholic.
Right. It's got to, like you said, it's got to affect your life.
It's got to affect relationship, work or school, finance, health, health.
Now, so even hypothetical, even if I jerk off only once a week, but then
This guy?
say this is actually a hypothetical. Like say a person only jerks off once a week,
Right,
but
not
he
you,
can't.
Jesus.
But he can't have sex with his girlfriend because his reality perception is messed up.
Right, I would argue.
Then he will say he's
yes,
an addict.
even though you
Not
would,
frequency.
I'm not sure I would call him addicted because he's not lost control over it, but I would say he's having consequences and he should get should change his behavior. And if he can't, then we'd have to look at that, right? So addiction is when you try to change your behavior because it's having consequences and you cannot.
Now, for me, what if I've done this. I think we all have done this. It's like you wake up and then you do like a little wake and jerk. And then you get tired for the rest of the day. You have a ton of plans.
So don't do that.
But then, you end up not doing stuff.
Right.
Is that consequences? Am I an addict?
Oh, if you can't stop and you want to stop.
Sometimes it's like, oh, man, I got such a big day ahead of me. I got to come do Dr. Drew's podcast.
Don't do that. I think you
and then
you came in
wake
hot
up
today, so I could tell you didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
You didn't unload any chi.
Or
before you got here.
sometimes, you wake up early enough, you jerk, and then you go back to sleep. That's the way to do it. It's like an immediate morning nap.
Well, that's okay. After watching your shows, I identified 2 long-term female friends as my stalking victims. Ooh. This is the porn addict guy. This is good.
Wait, read that again? He identified.
In other words, there are all these guys out there right around this age, 26, that find these women. They don't know because of porn. They don't have the usual dating experience. Like they're the tiger's gone, and so they're just not out there, and that's painful and difficult and uncomfortable. And these days, people aren't encouraged to date, so they don't learn how to do that. They find someone they're about 23, 22, 23, 24. They go, this is the one. And then they go on a date, and she's not that into it. And he goes, okay, I'm her friend now. I'm going to be waxing her cars. I'm going to be cleaning her carpet.
Why do people do that?
So,
they do that in hopes one day she'll slip up and
They do it with intention that by being that guy long enough, eventually she'll cave in. Eventually she'll...
They honestly don't understand how the friend zone works.
Correct.
Like she's actually less likely to fuck you when you wax her car.
And so that guy is stalking her. That's stalking behavior.
Is that stalking?
That's full-on stalking behavior. So both girls knew I had feelings for them and enjoyed the attention they were receiving, which made me feel that I could win them. Here it is. Which led us to having an 8 to 9 year friendships. Throughout the time I was friends with them, I dated and had relationships. It wasn't like I followed them around all day. I know that. It's still, you're in this. They made clear what the relationship is. You're refusing to accept that. You're pushing. Now, if you can actually maintain a friendship.
But is he pushing? He's not pushing, is he?
Yeah,
he might be.
He
okay.
is. As a result of listening to you, I told both of them I could no longer be friends due to my affection toward them. After explaining how unhealthy my behavior was, they were unhappy but understood. And the younger of the two actually apologized to me.
Whoa.
That's good. That's enlightened. Will I ever be able to be friends with a woman that I find attractive? Yes, you will. You will.
That's a good question. I question that sometimes.
Of course you can.
I mean, I could if I really make an effort or if I'm already in a relationship.
But to say that you will not be attracted to her is naive, right?
Right.
But you can put that aside and just be a friend. You can do that.
Now, Steve Harvey.
It's harder when you're younger.
Steve Harvey had this theory. It was like a viral YouTube video a few years ago. He was like, a man can never be friends with a woman because he was like, women, let me ask you this. If you got these friends hanging around, if you decide to fuck them, they will jump on it, right?
Yes. That's this guy.
Yeah. But I mean, does that mean you can't be friends with them?
No, it means the friendship sort of ends or changes right at that point.
Right, but it doesn't mean that
because she knows
they
know you're attracted, and because you're attracted, there's always that potential. But in the meantime, you can be an adult and be a friend. It's possible. But what can't happen is when friends develop, you have to acknowledge that somebody was usually attracted to somebody.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's usually what kind of brings it together in the first place, right?
Right.
And then you can be friends. It's okay. But you cannot stalk. You cannot stalk like that. That's not fair.
Is that stalking? So friend zone is like baby steps into stalking.
Yeah. If you continue to pine away for them and feel you can win them by wearing them down.
Oh, that is so sad.
How many times have you done that?
As desperate as I was, I've never done that.
See?
Because
it happens all the time now.
Really?
All the time. It's very, very common. We have any more voice messages before we bring Fred in here.
Hi, Dr. Drew. My name's Matt. I'm from Colorado. I guess wanted to start out by saying I love your show. My question or concern is I've been with my girlfriend for about 4 months now. Everything's going great. I noticed that when we started to be a little bit more sexual active here recently, maybe a little bit more intense in the bedroom, I should say, I found out she's a squirter. And I mean, I personally don't have any problem with that myself. I think it's kind of hot, but I still have the argument that it's pee, and I mean, if it's not pee, then like what the fuck is it? Keep rocking on.
Well, mommy, you have this question too?
No.
You've heard it on Love Line so many times.
Yeah.
So you answer it.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It can be urine. It can be. In fact, probably the majority of the time it is. But
really?
But there are women that actually put out vaginal secretions in sequential burst. And it's a different kind of fluid. It's not.
And
as
what
thin.
color is it? I remember in Loveline, somebody called in. It was like a green color or something.
Well, whitish gray, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But the urine is. I mean, you can find out really easily. Have her take vitamins before you have sex. Evacuate her bladder until you see the yellow, and make sure the bladder's empty, and then do your thing and see what you get.
How does vitamins factor into
Yellow.
Oh, like vitamin B.
It will turn yellow. Multivitamin will turn it yellow. Let's bring Fred in here. Fred Stoller.
Yay!
The great Fred Stoller has a gift for us.
Oh, by the way, what should I do with my trauma, Drew?
About the abandonment stuff?
Yeah.
I think you're doing okay with it, don't you?
I'm all right.
I think I worry about your picker. Like you'll pick people that will be sort of unavailable.
Yes, all the time still.
Okay, so if you want to fix that, then you got to see a therapist. But I think you can be careful and know that if you see lightning bolts, be careful. Think butterflies, not lightning bolts.
Right, you always said that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Fred,
you.
we need to get on the mic here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't hear anything out there, so if I repeat any material he did.
Okay.
My father worked in a strip club.
Wait.
My father worked in a strip club. Yeah, that's my shtick, Fred.
I know his shtick, but yeah, there's no monitor. Well, these are two actually of my best friends, which is crazy.
We're there for Fred's birthday this year.
Well,
and last year.
My new reality show is called My Two Drews, because I hang out with Drew Carey. Sometimes I'll text the wrong Drew the wrong thing. Drew Carey, Drew Pinsky. So that being said, she said a little gift, and I thought, I want to give it to you two guys at the same place.
Very sweet of you.
And I've been building it up because I'm being repetitious, but they haven't heard this, that either you're going to go, this is what you've been saying, or you're going to go, whoa.
You're going to love it.
Yes. So basically, I'm going to, sorry.
Can I talk about your treatment lately?
Sure.
Let's talk about that.
Well, maybe, maybe you could help explain, because I did this thing, and it was $3,000. I didn't think I was going to do all 5 infusions. I thought I'll just do one, but then I didn't want to seem like a pussy to the guys.
And what was it?
It's called ketamine infusion.
He did ketamine therapy.
I didn't tell you because I thought you'd go, what are you doing?
Oh, no. Ketamine therapies, they have 5 to 6 infusions for people with recurrent depressions. Extremely effective. Extremely effective. So good for you for looking into it and doing it.
Yeah, and could you? I don't know how do I explain to Jimmy? Like, what is it?
They infuse him with ketamine, and he just does the treatments. He doesn't after a couple of treatments.
There for an hour.
It starts him. It just changes the brain chemistry in a positive way.
Should everyone do it?
No. It's people that have depression that have not responded to other things, or they're having side effects, or they don't like
it. Really, it doesn't feel like I'm medicated.
Right.
It doesn't feel like. I mean, I'm feeling feelings, but it feels like you're still on a trip.
Interesting.
Yeah. So okay. So
well, on this trip, give us these gifts. Let's go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So all right. So like, I'm setting it up, and I rehearsed it, so it's under 3 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
I think you're already running light.
I know. Well, you did the ketamine, so I think Jimmy may know this more than you.
Okay.
Because he's younger and into pop culture. But that being said, all right, this is my setup. There's shows like Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and Silicon Valley, where they have these figurines called.
Oh my God!
So this is the guys from Silicon Valley.
Oh, that's the best.
Richard.
No. This is hysterical.
Ehrlich and. Jimmy wasn't available, but I got him on it.
How did you do it?
Awesome! Look at this.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Custom.
Are you picking this up on the camera?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, this is so cool.
And look what we got here.
Dinesh.
Dr. Drew!
What?
No
How did you do
way!
this?
This is so cool.
This is crazy.
Look at this.
So basically,
Is that too high?
Oh my
No,
God.
that's perfect.
Okay.
But there's all kinds of stuff on the back of this package too.
It's great packaging. Okay, these are
Oh
all
my
the Dinesh
God.
guys. This is.
I'm going to show you the back of the
made
package
it, but
too.
you weren't part of the Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
I got a guy to make one for you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Fred.
Fred.
And look, he has the hot dog thing. If you
Oh,
can see. And,
the hot dog T-shirt.
So, okay, so what happened was I did
This is fantastic.
a silly autograph convention, and one guy, they know for a month is going to be there, and is a retired shop teacher. And maybe I could give a shout out to him on Instagram, because if you follow him on Instagram, I paid just for the parts. So, but he did me a favor. But if anyone wants someone,
Let's
that
give
they
a shout
like,
out. Let's give a shout out,
there's
man.
my glasses.
This is crazy. John Oliver just did a whole thing on the.
So you know about Pops?
A little bit.
They had them right for everything, like a
Well,
million of these.
more that he was talking about the use of characters in Japan. That they have all these. There's like a character for everything, and this is part of that whole phenomenon.
So yeah, they have every show. So there's a guy named
Is it this one right here?
Yeah, Nama Steve. Follow him on Instagram.
Nama, N-A-M-A Steve.
Yes, he's a retired shop teacher. He made one of me.
Oh my God! Look at all this stuff.
If you see, well, that's the. I took a picture of the screenshot, but basically, he made one of me here.
I think you saw you post that. I think.
Yes. See,
Oh my
there's
God,
me.
Fred,
Look.
that's hysterical.
He made one of me.
Oh,
and he's a
yeah.
retired shop teacher, really good guy, just loves this as a passion. Said, hey, you want? I'll make some of your friends. So
All
we got
right.
one for Drew Carey.
Well, there you go. There's
and I'm glad
Dinesh.
you like
There's-
it.
These will be new fixtures in this environment. So,
Well, this is for
Thank you, Fred.
This is for your new place.
Yeah.
These are
I'll
yours.
take
Okay.
these.
You'll
okay, you can take
yourself.
you can take all the Silicon Valley guys.
Maybe off camera. So we'll do him a favor where you'll sign this because he has one he made. I have the Sharpie.
Fantastic. All right, we'll do all this.
And he had this.
Oh my God!
Where is my?
All right, we're gonna do this all off the air. We're gonna wrap
Thanks,
this thing
Freddie.
up. Fred,
All right,
thank you,
like
buddy.
it was
Yeah,
perfect.
Worth
that was
the-
awesome.
worth the wait, my friend.
Nama
Thank you.
Steve. Thanks. Thanks,
Follow
Nama
him on
Steve.
Instagram.
Not
Yeah.
namaste, but
Nama
namaste.
Steve.
All right, listen, Jimmy. Thank you.
Thank
Fred,
you for having me,
This
man.
was fun.
Yeah.
And, are you hitting the road again? You're
I am. I'm doing a lot of stand-up. I'm gonna hit the road soon. Just follow me on Instagram. I'll post everything on there. It's @funnyasiandude. And yeah, you see all the dates coming up and all the other stuff.
And then let me see. Yes, new platform called Interface, where you can get where I go once in a while to do consultation. Check that out. Opium series on Weekly Infusion at drdrew.com. Also, the Dr. Drew podcast is out every Tuesday. Adam and Drew, we do 5 days a week. I still do a daily podcast with Adam.
Yeah.
Yep. And This Life You Live, #You Live with Bob Forrest on Playroom Pods. And if you miss any live shows, you can always check everything out. Everything is at drdrew.com. And including my radio show, which we put up as a podcast. I do a 3-hour radio show every day with Leanne Tweeden on KBC 90. And all these plugs are courtesy of my wife, Susan, who's like constantly on my case. I don't plug, you don't tell people where you are. So thank you, honey, for looking out after me. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being a part of this and listening. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Jimmy. And we will see you all next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.